about destruction.
A little bit cold in here, huh? Where are the heaters? Where are the heaters? Well, you know, I'll tell you what, the Clemson Tigers, I was watching that game, but next year, all the way. Great team. Great team. Great team. It was some game, you have to say. A little bit better than the Super Bowl, don't we agree? A lot better. But well, thank you very much. This is some crowd. Wow. What the hell kind of a building is this? What is this? It's beautiful. A little bit on the cold side. I don't usually do this, but I figure we might as well. Well, it's great to be with you, and you know we've had an exciting time. We did a good thing. New Hampshire, what a great place. What a great place. And we won it big. We won it big. You know, the networks they called, they said, we're going to be announcing at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is when the final vote is cast. And I said, I think that's a good thing. I hope that's like for us. And we won by a lot, a really lot. And the reason is that people are tired of losing in this country. We're losing all the time. People are tired of stupidity, incompetence. We're not going to have it anymore. We're not going to have it. And, you know, we had a case where somebody was talking about the anger that they think I have. I'm not an angry person. You're not angry. But we're angry about the way our country is run. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to let it happen. So this has been going on, and we went up to New Hampshire, and it was an amazing experience, actually, because I've known it long and for a long time. Many friends live in New Hampshire. Many friends live here, by the way, I have to tell you. But many friends up in New Hampshire. And it came out, and the original polls came out, and they were so high. By the way, the original polls, which just came out here, we're through the roof. We are high. We are high. I mean, the problem you have, and I saw it up there, and yet people are smart. These politicians, they say anything. They say, like, I'm very, very big on the Second Amendment. I think most people know that. You hear. Very, very big. And they'll say, Donald Trump does not respect the Second Amendment. I say, what the hell is this guy talking about? The lying is unbelievable. And I guess it's part of a process. But the good thing, we have a big, beautiful microphone. Yeah, sit down, relax. Sit down. We'll be here as long as you want. And we may take some questions. Should we take some questions? I think so. No. I think so. Let's just have a good time. You know, I got, so far, in the last, couple of days, 1 hour sleep. Because, you know, when you have victory, you don't need sleep, right? You're going on adrenaline. And then what happens is the following day you say, maybe I do need sleep after all. So somebody said, oh, that's not a problem, Mr. Trump. We could cancel this or postpone it. I said, are you crazy? I would never. This is this is our group. We have something so special going on. We have something so special going on. The cover of Time magazine last week, they're talking about it's a movement. It's a movement to take our country back, and it is. It's a movement to take our country back. And that's what we're doing. And it's going to be so beautiful. And it actually started with Iowa. We did great in Iowa. Had Dr. Carson been allowed to keep his votes, we would have done even better. But we did great. You started off with 17 people on the Republican side. You know, a couple just dropped out today. Do you know that? Do you know who? Carly and Christie. And so we're down to, we're getting down to pretty good numbers here. We're getting down to low numbers. When I did it, and I said it was June 16th, and it takes guts. I always said to everybody, it takes guts to run for president. Not easy. Not easy. And especially, when you're a successful person, I've always heard it. If you're a very successful person, the last thing you do is run for office. And I never really sort of understood that. There's a certain legitimacy to what you do, and then you get into politics, it's a whole other world. I've been in politics all my life, but I've been on the other. I've been a supporter. But I think nobody knows it better than me. And one of the things we're doing and one of the things I'm doing is I'm self-funding my campaign, so I can't be bought. I can't be bought by all these people. And I think it's appreciated. But, I turned down, I'll tell you, you have a guy like Bush who has this big fund. It's terrible. I'll be honest. The last thing we need is another Bush. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. This guy, he says anything that's on his mind. But, he's gotten so much money. Here's a statistic just came out. In New Hampshire, he spent $39 million. And what is he, fourth or fifth, right? Think of it. $39 million. Look at all these people standing. This place is unbelievable. The place is massive. Look at all these people. He spent... I love you too. Look at this. I love these people. This country is so great. The people in this country are so amazing. And all the time, no matter where I go, it's the same. I go to Mobile, Alabama, 35,000 people. We go to Dallas, 21,000 people. We go to Oklahoma, 20,000 people. In New Hampshire, I'll tell you what, New Hampshire, we were packed all the time. We had in a blizzard, 5,000 people in an arena, the Verizon Arena. So beautiful. It was incredible. 3 of my people were in car accidents coming over. One of them walked over about a mile through a blizzard to be there, and it turned out he had close to a broken leg. And then I said, "You're fired for ruining my car." No, I'm okay. Why not? But the people, they have such spirit, such beautiful spirit. So anyway. So I felt it was very important to self-fund because I think nobody knows the system better than me. And guys are getting all of this money, and I would have had more than anybody. I mean, I was turning down friends, people that I know, 5 million, 10 million. People would give me anything. And they put them in these PACs, which are crooked as hell. They're horrible. They're horrible. No, they're horrible. And the PACs aren't supposed to be running the campaigns, but they're running the campaigns. They're running the campaigns. They're totally, it's out of control. I'll be honest, it's out of control. But it's hard for me, because my whole life I take money, right? I make money. Like some of us were in business, we make money. We grab money. I love money, right? No, it's true. And we get greedy and more and more. And then all of a sudden it's like, I say, no, I don't want it. I want to do something else. I want to be greedy, but I want to be greedy for the United States. We want to bring money into the United States. I really do. I really do. The hell with the business stuff. My kids will take the business. My executives, they'll run it. We built a great business. I built an incredible business. Some of the greatest assets in the world. Very little debt. Tremendous cash flow. Just a great business. And frankly, Doral in Miami and Turnberry in Scotland and so many different things, buildings in Manhattan, the Bank of America building in San Francisco, 1290 Avenue. There were so many great things. And nobody knew that, when I fought, because I'm a private person. So the pundits, the geniuses, they'd go and they'd say, well, I don't think he's going to run. And I ran. They said, they don't believe it. Then they said, he'll never file Form A. Form A is a single piece of paper. You sign it, you're signing your life away. Boy, there's so many beautiful people in this audience. I'm looking at this. These are good, such a great looking group of people. But I say, Form A. They say, he'll never sign it. I sign it. Then they say, well, he'll never put in his financials because he's probably not as successful as people think. So all of the politicians, they'll do financials on one page. My financials were almost 100 pages long, done by the biggest accounting firms and lawyers in Washington. And I put them in. They said, well, he'll ask for extensions because you can have an extension forever. And I said, I don't want any extensions. 30 days, boom, certified, done, put in. And they went, and these characters, look at all those cameras. Look at that. Look at it. Now, take a look. Take a look back there. Is that incredible? Wow. 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 Do we have any protesters? Because if we had some protesters, they'll turn the cameras to the protesters. We may have to stage a phony protest. That's the only way they show the size of these crowds. This crowd is amazing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I came here, I said, how many people? They said, I don't know, maybe about 10,000. This is an incredible thing. So we go out and file the papers, and the company is incredible. And they, you know, frankly, the press reports were great, but they were looking for something else. The only reason I say that is that's the kind of thinking we need in the country. We have $19 trillion. It's a mess. We have China, Japan, Mexico, new one, Vietnam. We have these countries absolutely killing us on trade. With China, we have a trade deficit of $500 billion a year. Think of that. How the hell can you have $500 billion a year? You can't have it. Who ever heard of it? $500 billion a year. And it's been like that for a long time. They have been draining us. I have the greatest business people in the world. They're dying to get involved. They don't want money. They don't want anything. They want to do it. Their ego. It's like chess players. They want to do it because the game is not fair. And we can't continue to go on like this. You see, the bubble is ready to pop. I don't know if you know, we're sitting on a very dangerous bubble, folks, just so you understand. We are sitting, and I've been very good at predicting markets, as you probably have heard. We are sitting on a very dangerous bubble. We're so tied into China. We're so tied into Asia. When they go bad, we go bad. And the whole thing is ridiculous. And what we have is we have a deficit with, as an example, Mexico. And by the way, while we're talking about Mexico, Mexico is killing us on trade, but they're killing us at the border. And guess what? We will build the wall. You know that. We will build the wall. We're going to build the wall. And yesterday, the top person, President of Mexico, said, we will never, ever pay for that wall. And the press called me up. And they said, Calderon, the head man, top person, he said he won't pay. He won't pay for it. And you know what I said? I said, the wall just got 10 feet higher. That's right. It's true. It's true. Oh, they've been ripping us. They've been ripping us. And you know, I have many Mexicans work for me. I have many, many Hispanics. They're incredible people. They're great people. And Mexico is wonderful. But their leaders are too smart for our leaders. When I announced that I was running, I started talking about illegal immigration. Nobody else brought it up. Nobody else talked about it. Nobody talked about walls. Nobody talked about borders. I talked about it. Boy, was I being killed by the press. How dare you talk about illegal immigration? It's so terrible. You shouldn't do. First of all, it knocks the hell out of our economy, in a sense. But also the danger and the people that are coming in. And when I say Mexico is forcing, many of these people that are coming in, believe me, we don't want to hear. We have 179,000 criminal, illegal aliens. Think of it. 107, as of last week, they just announced it. 179,000. That's filling up Yankee Stadium 4 times. We have 179,000 criminal, illegal immigrants. Can't have it, folks. They're going back. They're all going back. Can't have it. Can't have it. Now we have this president. And we all have heart. Everybody in this room has heart. We want to take care of people, but we got to take care of our own people first. We got to rebuild our country. We got to rebuild our country. Our infrastructure is falling apart. Our roads are a disaster. Our airports are like from third world countries. I go all over the world. I see airports. I never saw anything like it. And I'm a builder. I'm a really good builder. I see airports in different places of the world. You go to some of these Asian countries. You go to some of the Mideast, I tell you what, you go to Saudi Arabia, you go to Qatar, you go to different places in China, you see airports and infrastructure, the likes of which you've never seen. They have in China trains that are so modern, so fast, so incredible, you've never seen anything. We don't have anything. We got trains that go, bah, bah. You know, they're like from 150 years ago. We're becoming a third world country. In the Middle East, we've spent, if you add it all up, $2 trillion in Iraq. We have nothing, by the way. In Iraq, what do we have? Nothing. We should have never been there, I said, and I should get points for vision. But we should have never, ever in a million years been there. All we did is knock out, and then you're going to see Bush come up and give his brother an ad. Oh, great job, brother. Great job. Great job. $2 trillion. $2 trillion. We lost thousands of lives. We have wounded warriors who I love all over the place. We have nothing. Iran is going to take over Iraq. They're doing it now. As we're here, you're sitting, you're standing. Iran is taking over Iraq. That's all. The second largest oil reserves in the world. Now, you had these two forces. They were equal militarily. And they were going all the time. That's all they do. Fight. They fight. They fight. They quit. They fight. It never moved. What was the same? Saddam Hussein would hit him with gas. They'd hit him with gas. They'd negotiate. They'd rest for 2 years. Then they'd start fighting. This is what happened. We knocked out, and this is what I said, 2003, 2004, take a look, Reuters. Trump says, don't go into Iraq. You're going to destabilize the Middle East. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And by the way, I'm more militaristic than anybody in this room. I'm a big fan of the military. Believe me. And by the way, we're going to take care of our vets. Our vets are not being treated properly. Our vets are not, they're not being treated. Our vets are not being treated properly. We're going to take care of our vets. All right? Believe me, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. They're being treated, we have illegal immigrants being treated better than our vets. Not going to happen. Our vets are going to be treated good. But we're going to rebuild our military, bigger, better, stronger than ever before. Cheapest thing we can do, by the way. Cheapest thing we can do. And hopefully we never have to use it. But nobody's going to mess around with us anymore. Nobody. You know, you look, we can't beat ISIS. We can't beat anything. And that's what it is. We don't win with the military. We don't win in trade. We don't win in anything. We don't win in anything. I'll tell you in trade, many companies are moving out of the United States, called corporate inversion. Many companies. You just saw Pfizer. You know how great a company Pfizer is? They're leaving the United States. They're moving to Ireland. You have other companies. They're leaving the United States. It used to be they'd leave New York, they'd move to South Carolina. That was okay, right? Right? Brad, that was good, right? I know some of these guys, they're very successful. I have friends of mine. Big Brad, stand up, Brad. Say hello. Gonna give him his big shot in life. Great people, very successful people. But we have corporate inversion taking place. It's a disaster. Our companies are leaving the United States now. They're not moving to South Carolina. They're not moving to Florida. They're moving to Asia. They're moving to Europe because the taxes are too high here. We have the highest taxes in the world, the highest. And companies are moving out. Companies have actually, in my opinion, the government says $2.5 trillion. I say it's closer to $5 trillion outside of this country. The companies can't get their money back in, no matter what they do. They've been working on it. The Democrats, listen to this one. The Democrats agree, and the Republicans agree, we're going to bring the money back. They can't get a deal done. You know why? Because we don't have a leader as a president. That's all it is. We could bring $3, $4, $5 trillion back here if we had somebody that could get people into a room, sit down for 2 hours, and knock heads together and get a good deal done. And we can't. So companies are leaving the United States for taxes and also to get the money that's already theirs. They can't get it back in. So here's the story. We're going to do things that are going to be so amazing. You are going to be so happy. We're going to bring the trade, and we're going to get that trade so incredible in Mexico. We have so many companies moving to Mexico. Ford is building a $2.5 billion plant, and I just read today in the Wall Street Journal that now they're increasing it. They're going to do even more investment in Mexico. How the hell does that help us? How does it help us? It doesn't help us even a little bit. So they're going to make cars, trucks, and parts. And they're going to bring them into the United States. No tax, no nothing. We close up factories. They open up factories. What the hell are we doing? It's not going to happen. Folks, it's not going to happen anymore. We're going to be smart. And here's what I say, and I tell this all the time. Nabisco is moving their big plant from Chicago into Mexico, right? And you know the story. We're not eating Oreos anymore, by the way. But you know the story. They're moving a big, massive plant into Mexico. With Ford, if you get a schlebber like Bush, he's a schlebber. You get a guy like Bush, okay? No, really. This guy, I mean, I watch him. Think of it. I watch him. Remember, spent 38 to 39 million in New Hampshire. I spent 3.5. I'm number one. He's at the bottom. Think of it. And, you know, think of this for a second. Think of this. In the United States, education, we spend more money per pupil than any other country in the world by far. And we're number 30 in the world. We have third world countries that are ahead of us. You have the early countries, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, China. They're the best. And you have the United States at the back of the pack. We spend much more money. Wouldn't it be nice if we could do it the other way? So on the campaign, I mean, I shouldn't say this. I feel a little guilty saying it. But in one way, it's smart. I've spent less money than anybody else, and I'm number one. Right? Right? Nice. So I've spent less money, and then you have other people like Jeb who spent more money than anybody else, and he's down toward the bottom of the pack. Is that what you want as a president? No, seriously. Do you want to have a guy who spent more money? And the only reason I do this is I don't want to waste money on ads for the guy, because he spent $20 million on negative advertising against Donald Trump. I don't even know this guy. $20 million. Remember I called him a low-energy person? He's a low-energy person. I said he's a stiff, and I said that if he was in the private sector, he wouldn't be able to get a job. Other than that, I think he's excellent. This is going to be our president. The only reason I mention it is that he spent $20 million. In fact, I told him, I said, if they ever stop spending money on negative ads, I'll stop talking about the guy, because I hate to waste time on this guy because he's not going to win. But I don't like it when you know, we have to fight back. As a country, we have to fight back. You have to fight for your rights. I don't like it. I don't like it when people do that. And you know, we have others. They say things that are so wrong. They lie. They lie. I really am truthful. I like to be a truthful person. Overall, that's a good thing. We had a thing recently, you saw, where Putin said these great things about Donald Trump. Did you see that? He said Trump is a genius. Trump is the best leader. Trump is amazing. Okay, he said nice things. My people up in the stand, they said, we want you to repudiate that statement. I said, are you crazy? Why would I repudiate that? Actually, I said, why wouldn't we want, and wouldn't it be nice if we could get along with Russia and get along with something? What are we, crazy? Isn't it? Wouldn't it be nice? And wouldn't it be nice, really, really nice? You know, I'm seeing the other day the cost of munitions, the cost of buying missiles. It's tremendous. Wouldn't it be nice if Russia could use some of its missiles on ISIS? We got to knock ISIS. We got to knock the hell out of them. Wouldn't that be nice? So I see what's happening. It's going to be such an unbelievable week and a half. I'm going to be with you almost all the time. I have my choice of being at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, or being in South Carolina with my friends. I'm here. I'm here. Now, I may sneak over there every once in a while. It's not too far. Now, we're going to have a lot of time together. We have about 9 days, actually, until the big event. And this is going to be a very important event because we were really taken care of by the people of New Hampshire. We really were. We were taken care of with great respect. we had even more than the polls. The polls were suggested 27, 28%, which would have been a nice victory, good victory, because other people were down at 4, 8, 9. So 24, 25, if they would have said 25, you can have it right now, I probably would have said yes. And we ended up with 35, 36%. That's amazing. It's amazing. Because there's something happening. I mean, I'm telling you, there's something happening. You're next. It's going to be so important because if we can win South Carolina, which is an amazing, incredible place, incredible people, if we can win, and I don't want your money, I want your vote, to be honest. I don't want your money. I don't want your money. You know, and one little story. So, little things. We have a lot of business people. I recognize some of them. Some of them are friends of mine. I know I have some people like Brad, but others. And if we can do little things, for instance, in the United States, we don't negotiate the price of drugs. We're the largest drug, meaning to make people better. Drugs to make people better, not the drugs that flow over the border from where? Mexico. And other places, by the way. Those drugs are pouring. You know, in New Hampshire, they have a tremendous heroin problem. Tremendous. They come over the border. I told them, we're going to stop that problem. We're going to stop it. The wall's going to stop it, by the way. Walls work when they're big, beautiful walls. See that ceiling? Anybody gets up there, they're not coming down too easy, let me tell you. But we have a tremendous problem with that. I mean, you know, you have something that's really messed up in this country, and we're going to solve it, and we're going to fix it, and we're going to have to be less politically correct. Is that right? Less politically correct. Everything you say today, everything, you know, I went to great schools, I was a good student, all that stuff. Everything you said today, it's like you don't know, are you offending someone? The country's really screwed up. We have to get back to work. We have to get back to work. We have to build it back up again. And I'll tell you something, a lot of people in the audience will like this, I think. But, you know, you go to a department store today, what don't you see? Christmas time. You don't see Merry Christmas anymore. We're going to be saying Merry Christmas at Christmas, believe me. And we're going to see signs. Come on, get up. It's true. So now we are. You ever see, you go to a department store now, everyone's afraid. I mean, they're nice people. They own the store, but the big stores, and you don't see Merry Christmas anymore. Why? Why? Why don't you see it? Why don't you see it? I'll tell you what, it's something, it's going to change. It's all going to change. I say so many things are under siege right now. The Second Amendment is under siege. You see what Obama's trying to do. Hillary is going to do a big number on it, assuming she doesn't end up in the... Yeah. So, who thinks that Hillary is going to make it? Who thinks she's going to be able to run because the Democrats are protecting her? And maybe, first of all, she's got to get through this wacky socialist guy, Bernie. I listened. No, last night, before I made my speech, I said, I don't want to make it while he's making it. I was trying to beat him out there. I said, let him go. He went on forever. He wants to give the country away. Your taxes are going to be like 95%, folks. So here's what happens. The drug companies, you can't bid on drugs. It's like the United States, the largest purchaser of drugs in the world. And yet it's like going into a drugstore and buying something right off the shelf. You don't have the power. The country doesn't have the power to negotiate. You know why? Because the guys that are running, with the exception of me, the guys that are running are supported by the drug companies and the oil companies and the timber companies and everybody else, right? So you never make good deals for the country. So think of this. We don't have the right to negotiate with drug companies. And I have a friend who's a doctor, he's a very successful guy, and he keeps telling me, I don't understand it. Why can't we negotiate? And then I said, I tell you why. Because the senators and the congressmen that are all taken care of by the drug companies can't allow that. Because the drug companies make a fortune. So, if we negotiated, you know what we'd save? Almost $300 billion a year. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Now, Now, that's just for doing what you would normally do. Now, negotiating is complicated when you have that. But what you do is very simple. You do a favored nations clause. Whoever buys the drugs in the whole world for the lowest price, we get that price, and I would add on something. I would say less 10%, okay? I would say less 10%. Now, in the military, so think of that, $300 billion, so maybe it's $200 billion, maybe it's $350 billion, nobody knows. They talk about, the other day, one of the politicians came up to me that I'm running with, and they were talking about balancing the budget within the next 25 years. I said, 25 years? What the hell are you talking about? 25 years, you're going to balance the budget? We have so many things that we can do. So let's just go real quick, and then I'm going to take some questions. You ready? Common Core, a total disaster. A disaster. We're going to educate our kids. By the way, Jeb Bush loves Common Core. He wants people educated from Washington. Right there, he loses. Jeb Bush loves Common Core, and he loves weak borders. Remember the statement? They come as an act of love. Give me a break. And when I was right, you know, it was interesting because I told you before, I took a lot of heat when I came out and I announced that we have to do something about illegal immigration. A lot of heat. And then later, beautiful Kate was killed in San Francisco. Jamil was killed in Los Angeles. The incredible, we have a woman who is supposed to be an incredible person, a veteran, 65 years old, raped, sodomized, and killed by an illegal immigrant in Los Angeles recently, and so many more. And so all of a sudden, they start like coming to me, these politicians, all talk, no action. Believe me, the politicians will never get you to the promised land. Any of them, I know them all. Some of them I like, they're never going to get you there. The reason is they're all taken care of one way or the other. They can't. You know, a lot of people say, how could a deal be so bad? These people are stupid. I say they're not stupid. They're preservationists. They preserve their job. That's what they do. They preserve their job. They're good at getting reelected. They're great at getting money. They're great at getting all of this stuff, and they'll never help you. So, when somebody that, as an example, he's a friend of mine, good guy, Woody Johnson of Johnson & Johnson. He's the head of Jeb's campaign for raising money. Do you think that Jeb is going to say, if he ever got in, which is an impossibility, do you think Jeb is going to say, we're going to now renegotiate with drug companies so we have to put you people out to bid? As an example, do you think Hillary Clinton, who's terrible, do you think Hillary, look at what she did. Look at the damage she did as Secretary of State. Now, do you think that Hillary Clinton, who's getting all of this money from Wall Street, although she claims she's not, but it turned out she did, you know, $600,000 for a speech. Actually, I've been paid much more than that, but I'm not like representing the government, okay? You know, I've actually gotten much, much more than that. But honestly, when you're representing the government and you're involved, you know, it's a very tough thing. There's a very fine line. And I'm not even saying, maybe I am saying, when you get that kind of money, there's a tremendous scrutiny there. There's a tremendous problem there. But you look at what she did as Secretary of State, and do you remember the ad that she had when you get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning? Well, she wasn't there to receive the call when it came to Benghazi. Let me tell you, she wasn't there. She was not there. So I don't know that we're going to be fighting Hillary, because I find it hard to believe. I look at what she's doing. I was there. I mean, I was there last night where this guy Sanders is up ranting and raving like a lunatic that, you know, he won. But I was there. I saw it. And I'm shocked, you know, because he's so non-traditional. And I just don't see a socialist as the head of this country. I mean, where are we going to? But we are going to do something special. Okay, so you ready? Common Core, we're going to keep. Trade, we're going to make great. Military, we're going to go through we are going to make it so great. All of the things that I said. Obamacare, we repeal, we replace. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. We can't have it anymore. Your premiums are going up 25, 35, 45%. People are telling me it's a disaster. I know it's a disaster. People in Washington don't have to use it. Our representatives don't have to go that way. They can go the way they used to be. The whole thing, we're going to repeal it, we're going to replace it, we're going to have unbelievable health care, and it's going to be less expensive for the people, and you're going to be proud of it, and you're going to love it, because people are absolutely dying with Obamacare. Obamacare is going to fail in 2017 of its own weight, but it's got to go, and we've got to get much less expensive and much better coverage and much better health care. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So we're going to make America great again. Our theme is Make America Great Again. All those red hats, all the white hats, look at all those hats. But we're going to make America great again. I think it says it all. Somebody said to me, why do you want to be president? I said, I want to make America great again. It's so much easier. What do I have to go through the whole thing? I want to make America great again. And we're going to make it great. We're going to make it rich. We're poor. We're a debtor nation. We just hit today 19 trillion. Just came over 19 trillion. I've been saying 18 trillion for the last year. Now it's 19. Very soon, with that horrible budget that was just the omnibus, they call it the omnibus, with the last budget, that's another $2 trillion that's going to be added. So we're going to be at $21 trillion. So we're really a debtor nation. We are going to make our nation rich again. A woman came up, a great woman. She said, Mr. Trump, I don't like the sound of it. You're going to make the nation rich. I said, we have to make the nation rich in order to make it great. We have to make the nation rich and bring our jobs back from China and Mexico and all of these people. We're bringing our jobs back. We're not only doing the border, we're bringing our jobs back. And when a Ford wants to move to Mexico, if I'm president, I'd love to do it myself. I guess that's not the exact perfect chain of command, but I'd love to do it myself. But I'm going to tell Ford, no good, no good. You're not going there with the $2.5 billion plan. And if you do, we're going to charge you 35% tax every time you sell a car in the United States. Every single time. And I tell the story. If they called up Hillary or Ted Cruz or any of these people who has no business experience, okay, no business experience, they'll call Ted or Hillary, and they'll call from one of the lobbyists that supported these guys and these people. So one of them called, they'll say, listen, you have to do this. You have to do it. They gave you millions of dollars. You have to approve this plan. They're going to approve it. Believe me, they're going to approve it. I've hired many lobbyists. They're extremely talented, okay? They're going to do it. If they call me, I'm going to say, but it's no good. But nobody gave me any money, so that they don't own me. They don't have anything to do with me. They don't have anything. And I'll tell. And I don't need, Carl Icahn endorsed me. Many of the great business leaders endorsed me, and they're going to be great. We get the greatest business people in the world. In the world. We don't use them. We use political hacks to negotiate with China. And China, they get trained from the time they're 3 years old to be great, great business people. They get trained in negotiation. They have like the triangle. They take the best, the best, the best, all the way up. And that's who is negotiating with our political hacks. And then you wonder why we're losing $500 billion a year and $100 billion plus with Japan. The cars roll in. The largest ships I've ever seen in Los Angeles recently. And the cars are pouring in from Japan. We sell them practically nothing. We sell them nothing. It's all going to change. We're going to make our country so wonderful again. And you people are going to be so proud of our country again, because we're being led by people that don't know what they're doing. They're grossly incompetent. In some cases, they're just stupid people. They're just stupid people. I mean, you take a look at that Iran deal. We pay $150 billion and we get absolutely nothing. Nothing. And then they take our sailors. You saw that on television today, where they have the guns pointed at the head. They have a rough guy talking. This is not a baby. And they have our 10 sailors dropping to their knees with their hands up. And this is supposed to be somebody we're making deals with. And the only reason we got the sailors back is because the $150 billion was due in 2 days, or those sailors would still be there. Who makes deals like this? Who makes a Sergeant Bergdahl deal? We get Bergdahl, a dirty, rotten traitor, right? We get Bergdahl, and they knew he was a traitor because you had a colonel and a general interviewing all of the people involved right on the site. We lost 5 or 6 people. They don't know. But we lost 5 or 6 people killed. Young, beautiful, military people killed looking for Sergeant Bergdahl, who left. So we get Bergdahl. We know he's a spy. And they get 5 of the best killers that they have, that they've been coveting for years. For years. For 9 years they've wanted them. And we let them go. And now they'll be back very soon on the battlefield, knocking the hell out of everyone. What the hell are we thinking? What the hell are we thinking? So, I just want to tell you, people of South Carolina, we're going to change it. We're going to change it. We're going to change it around. Can't go on like this. When I said to my wife, Melania, I said, I've got to do it. And I'm telling you, I stood at the top of that stairway, and I looked the escalator, the famous, now it's a famous, it was famous before, but then it really became famous. But you had to see the press. You had to see the cameras. It looked like the Academy Awards. And I took a deep breath. I said, we have no choice. I took a deep breath. I said, let's go. And we're going to straighten it out. And it's been all, from the day I announced practically, we've been #1 in the polls. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Because the people of our country love the country and all of that. But you know what? They're really smart. They really get it. They know we're going down the tubes. We're going down the tubes. And we're going to stop it. And you're going to be so proud of it. And you're going to be proud that you were here. And you're going to be proud of your president. And you're going to be so proud of your country again. We're not going to have deals where our sailors are put on their knees with their hands up. We're not going to have that anymore. It's not going to happen that way anymore. It's not going to happen that way anymore. So, I was going to take some questions, but, you know, it's sort of like it's such a high. You know, Elton John once told me, he's a great guy. When you finish with a great song, don't go back for the encores, right? Right? So should I do it? I mean, this is such... Should I take a couple of questions? All right. I hate doing it because we finished at such a high, beautiful point. Now I'll take some really crummy questions, and you'll leave. You'll say, that was a lousy evening, right? All right, come on, encore, encore. Let's give some questions. Go ahead. That gentleman holding a very good book called The Art of the Deal. Go ahead. Anybody holding The Art of the Deal and wearing my cap, the question can't be so bad. Do we agree? Okay, go ahead.
Your second favorite book.
Good, thank you.
I'm a school teacher, Tom Ritchie, and got some students back there.
Oh, good.
Could you sign my copy of The Art of the Deal?
Get it over here. Come on. See, he's an aggressive. He's an aggressive. Give me a pen, Kevin. He's an aggressive school teacher. Oh, what a book. He's got the cheap version, see? Come on. I'll take that. Okay, man, here you go. Ready? Okay, here you go, Kev. Okay, question. Yes, go ahead. Clemson guy. Good, strong-looking guy. Did you go to school here?
I'm still in high school.
You're a little young, right? Okay, let's go. Come on, make it good.
Well, when it's all said and done, how are you going to beat Hillary?
Well, you know, the polls are showing that we beat Hillary. We're going to beat her. And honestly, women don't like her. Men don't like her. Take a look at what's happening to her. A guy that nobody ever heard of, literally, is beating her so badly. I don't know. I talk about Hillary. I honestly don't know if Hillary's going to be running. Do you like Hillary?
No, absolutely not. But
we're going to beat her.
Can I say something real quick?
We're going to beat her. Go ahead.
Well, you have to earn your votes. But, you know, Hillary and Bernie, they're going to get all those votes for free.
Yeah,
so
he knows what he's talking about.
How are you going to combat that?
Let me tell you, it's a good point. The Republicans are at a structural disadvantage. You understand that. And what he's saying is right. They're giving away so much stuff that we have to be really good. We really have to get somebody good because an average person is not going to win. And I mean that. These people they're not going to win. One of the things I'm going to do, I have a chance of winning New York. I'm going to win Michigan. I'm talking about cars all the time. They just did a poll in Michigan. I'm going to win Michigan. Michigan is not in play for a Republican except for me. I'll win certain states, and I think we'll win a lot of states, that nobody as a regular Republican, and these guys are just regular Republicans. Ay, ay, ay. You know, did you ever hear the 6 states you have to win? You have to win Ohio, you have to win Florida, you have to win. We're going to win states outside of them. For instance, if I won New York, where I have a possibility, remember I defended the honor of New York a few weeks ago at the debate. If I win New York, that's got so many delegates, it's so big that the election's over, essentially. It's over. So we're going to win things that nobody else is going to win. Okay, question. Go ahead. You look like a vet. Are you a vet? I love this guy. He's a vet. I love my vets. I love my vets. Who is that young guy next? Who is that guy?
He's my buddy from Greenville.
That's good. Good.
If you look around, you see a lot of gray hair.
Green hair.
Gray.
Oh, gray. Oh.
What about Medicare?
Okay. Well, Medicare is, everything's under siege now, folks, just so you understand it. Medicare is something that actually works, right? You know that. It works. Now, there's tremendous fraud, waste, and abuse. But Medicare works. And some of these people want to get rid of it. It's not going to happen. We're going to bring back our money. We're going to bring back our jobs. We're going to save our Medicare. We're going to save our Social Security. We're going to keep it going. You know, you've been paying into Social Security. You've been paying into this stuff all your life, practically, right? And now they want to take it away. They want to raise the age. They want to do all sorts of things. They want to give you a lot less. They want to take it away from a lot of people. Not going to happen. Not going to happen, okay? And Medicare, we have to be very careful. We have to protect it. Okay, that guy right over there with a red jacket.
Look around you. There is a natural born leader on the stage. Right there. Right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Natural born leader.
Thank you, man.
Trump, 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 Trump. Yeah. Donald Trump, answer me this one question.
Go ahead.
How soon will you take the trade deficit and balance the budget of our nation?
I think we can do it very quickly. You know, just what I told you, drugs, right? You know, you have that with the military. The military is forced to order weapons that they don't want because of political people that want to sell those weapons because they have political power. And they're not getting weapons that they do want because that company doesn't have the political juice, right? We're going to get the right weapons. We're going to get them for the right price. But it's a great question, and I appreciate your first statement very much, man. I knew I was doing a good thing when I chose you. I should almost, I think maybe I should end on that statement, not question, right? No. Go ahead. Go ahead, give it to him. I'll get you. Go ahead.
Me and my dad come across the state line to tell you George is with you, too.
George is good. George is good. George is good. Go ahead. Let's go. Go ahead. My man. Hey, did we have a good time tonight? Considering the fact that the subject matter is a little bit depressing, believe me, if you vote for Trump, and again, I don't want your money, I want your vote. You vote for Trump, we win here, we're going to run the table. If we win here after winning so big in New Hampshire, all of these characters are going to give it up. We're going to run the table, and we will make America great again. That I can tell you, okay? Uh-oh, my questionnaire just got wiped out by the crowd. The hell with it. I'm going to sign over here. I love you people. You're special people. Make sure you get out and vote. 9 days. Get out and vote. We're going to make America great again. Thank you all. I'm going to sign. I love you.